Hey, what's happening, gamers? So this is a little bit different stream than what was planned. Let me tell you where my headspace is, okay? I thought today would be the Kirby DLC and another game, but it wasn't. I was off by a day or two, so a lot of people had some more questions about this game. So we're gonna just have some fun doing some free roam. Gonna play as Nightwing, play as Batgirl tonight. We're gonna be mostly talking about Dick Grayson. This will not be a 3-hour stream. I have no reason to do a 3-hour stream tonight. I also will not be doing a super chat goal. If you guys want to help, you can feel free to, you know, super chat, of course, but we had a very generous donator earlier today, that gave more than we deserve, so I'm not going to ask people for more money. I don't need it. So if people want to do super chats, feel free to. If you want to help by becoming members, that always works. But I'm just waiting for the other game to download. So this will not be a super lengthy stream. Once I hit around 1,000 views, I'm going to stop. So because we've already done stuff. But I want to talk about Nightwing. If you guys have questions, I have my cell phone here. We'll talk about stuff. And then we'll get to the newer game, because there was a game that actually came out that I've been waiting for. So I'm going to take a look at that today. In fact, I have a stream set up that says brand new game. So you guys can guess. So I saw a lot of people guessing for what the music was, because we were like, that's really cool music, what is that? So I saw people say Sega Genesis Batman. I saw some people say a lot of things, and I was like, no. I said 90s Batman, and they're like, is it Batman 89? And I'm like, technically, it's connected to Batman 89. So without further ado, the last soundtrack that you guys were listening to was Batman Return of the Joker on NES, which is connected to the Keaton universe, but it's an Elseworld story. It's one of my favorite NES games of all time, Batman. So that's what you were listening to. Replay! Nightwing. Yes. They're gonna bring... Nope, they're not gonna bring Batgirl into it. Ugh. Okay. There he is. Well, it's not necessarily a surprise stream. It has to do with I had nothing else to stream. I was having problems like sleeping. I woke up several times because of the annoying lawnmower man outside. You know, but when I woke up, it's like I only had Kirby planned, so it's like, what in the world am I going to do this evening? And then it was like, you know what? I'm just going to do another Lego Batman OG stream, and we're going to play as Nightwing. So, you know, we're not going to necessarily 100% this, but we're going to hang out. We're going to have some fun playing as Nightwing, talk about Nightwing, speculate about Dick Grayson, all that fun stuff. I don't even remember how to change characters. Here we are, Nightwing. Yeah! The last time that he was unlockable in Lego Batman early on, except for the spin-off game, Lego DC Supervillains, Nightwing is one of the first characters you actually unlock. Nightwing and Batgirl are one of the first characters you actually unlock, which is kind of cool. And I like that Nightwing and Batgirl are actually dating in, they have a serious relationship in the spin-off game. And Lego DC Supervillains is a spin-off game. Like, it totally is. That's okay. Nightwing doing his acrobatics. So, people were asking me before, so how do you think they're going to do the whole Dick Grayson to graduate to Nightwing thing? Well, it's going to be an episodic thing, so we'll start with Dick Grayson as he becomes Robin after the Haley Circus incident, whether it's going to involve Tony Zuko, which I hope it does, because the Batman Animated Series version of Robin's origin, like Robin's Reckoning, is still peak. Like, to my knowledge, there's never been a Robin origin story in, you know, film or animation that comes anywhere close to Robin's Reckoning. I don't want them to do Batman Forever, but they might. They might also give us a teenage Robin because of what happened with the New 52. Because the New 52 gave us a teenage Robin. If you didn't know that. Dick Grayson was only Robin for less than a year or two before he actually graduated to Nightwing, which was a very short time as the Boy Wonder. Jason Todd was actually Robin longer than Dick Grayson in the New 52. Which, I don't like that. But that's because I'm a Dick Grayson guy. But, so, if they're going to follow the Batman Forever thing, then that means, unfortunately, Robin would have to be Robin for a limited time. But I would like him to be Robin for at least, like, 4 or 5 years before he becomes Nightwing in the LEGO universe. Because we know that there's going to be a flow of time. Like, it's going to start with Batman in Batman Begins, and then move into the Red Hood gang. And then it'll go into probably either Batman 89 or Batman Returns or whatever. It's going to jump all over the place. And then eventually we'll get to a point in the game where Robin will just be like, I can't be Robin anymore, I'm going to become Nightwing. And it's like, what story are they going to do with that? Because there hasn't been that many transitional stories of Nightwing becoming, you know, Robin becoming Nightwing in Batman mythos outside of the comics. In the Batman Brave and the Bold show, it shows that Robin is at the point where he's like, I can't really be doing this whole Robin thing anymore because me and Batman, we don't really see eye to eye about this stuff anymore. So he and his team essentially, you know, he becomes Nightwing, the disco version, in the Brave and the Bold. But the animated series episode with Batgirl, Catwoman, and Batman, we see Nightwing come into his own a little bit, but he's still, it's not like a true, like, origin. If you want a true origin of Nightwing for that universe, you had to get the comic books, which were, I believe they were called The New Adventures of Batman comics, which took place before the show actually released, and they were decent comics, I guess. Just kind of showing you how Dick Grayson decided on becoming Nightwing after he quit Robin. And they have him traveling the world and going to Tibet and stuff like that, so I'm curious to see what they're going to end up doing. Maybe it'll be a combination of Robin's Reckoning and Old Wounds and, you know, some other stuff, because, you know, people really need to give the animated universe more credit because they have phenomenal storytelling. They really do. So I really, really hope that the new LEGO game, we get a lot of animated series, like, story elements that are just, like, you know, handled in a way that works really well for the new LEGO Batman game. Oops. Now, how do I change characters again? Do I hope? Whoa. No, that's not it. How do you change characters in this? Oh, wow, I got different versions of it. Oh, okay, so I don't actually need to do anything. I already have Demolition Batman. Huh, okay, never mind. We have Demo Batman already. Well, then. Kind of weird that we already have all that stuff. Okay, it doesn't matter. Venom Hulk, what was your question before? Ow! I just got dusted. I just got dusted. I don't appreciate that. I always liked Nightwing's design in this game. It was pretty cool. Can you guys hear me over the music, or is the music a little bit overpowering tonight? Just give me a heads up. And I will adjust things accordingly. We don't have the music going, right? Yeah, music's off. Music's off as music should be off. We don't need the music on. We're fine. We're all fine now here, then. Sweet. Back off, creep. There you go. Yeah. See, any questions worth answering? I was still lazy with the thumbnail. I didn't even make a proper Nightwing thumbnail because I'm lazy. It's a tad too loud. Alright, thank you, Rocket. I got you. Appreciate the heads up. Alright, cool. How's that for audio levels? A little bit better? It's a tad too loud. The game audio was a little loud. Okay. We can hear you, barely. Is Luke's mic low, or is it just me? It's hard to hear tonight. It's because I had the stuff. And they allowed you to, throughout the story, to play each costume. Okay, yeah. Your mic is low. Is it better? Is it better now? Can you hear me now? Good evening, chat. Hello, chat. Nightwing and Dick Grayson Robin in the same screen. What world is this? Isn't that Tim Drake in LEGO Batman 1, though? Who's Robin in this game? Tim Drake. I'm just busy with things. Very top secret classified. Alright, Rebel Fleet. Do you think the origin of Robin will be inspired by Forever and a direct adaptation by keeping Robin as a kid? I think Robin will probably be a teenager. How have you been, Kwing? I've been okay, Evan. How you doing? The nostalgia. I missed this game. Yep, so much nostalgia. My guess was so close. Evan was close, yeah. So nobody figured out it was Batman Return of the Joker. The music is good. You're good. Thank you, Super Reviewer. Nightwing plus Nightwing. Talking about Nightwing. A lot better. Are we getting just Barbara, or is it all the Batgirls? I can answer that. So what you'll be getting is Batgirl suits. So most likely... Now, Batgirl, just so you know, she hasn't had that many costumes. I don't even think there's been 10 Batgirl costumes in the past 40 years. So, what you'll get with Batgirl, most likely, will be the Batgirl costumes you've seen in Batman the Animated Series, the Batgirl costume you've seen in Brave and the Bold. In fact, I'm pretty sure you're going to get Brave and the Bold Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, and of course you got Batman. And probably Brave and the Bold Catwoman as well. And then with Batgirl, you'll most likely get her very few animated appearances, which is Batman the Animated Series, The Batman, Brave and the Bold, the Filmation thing, her Yvonne Craig purple costume, probably her Burnside and Batgirl costume. Her current costume is Dick Grayson's girlfriend, which is an interesting new take on her costume that she's had for the past, like, 3 years. Probably her new 52 costume. And her Alicia Silverstone costume. That would be my guess. Neither Robin or Batgirl or Catwoman or Commissioner Gordon are going to get as many costumes as Batman. Batman will have 70 suits, from what I hear. And each individual character will have 10 or 15. Or 10 in total. Or 5, I don't know. It has to total over 100 suits in total. So, if Batman has 70 suits, then Robin could have 10, which would be 80. Batgirl would have 10, which would be 90. So, I mean, I don't know how they're really going to do this. Either each other character is going to get, like, 7 suits, and Batman's going to have 70, or I don't know how they're going to divide the whole thing up. Or they were just using that 100 suits in total as, like, kind of an estimate. Because if Batman really has 70 suits and each character has 10 suits, then that's more than 100. But I don't see the other Robin and Batgirl and Catwoman characters getting more than 10 suits. Because Batman's had way more suits. So with Batgirl, I've already gone over it. With Robin, you'll probably get animated series Robin. Highly likely. You'll get... most likely... We don't have a guy with super strength? What? Oh, yeah, we do. Clayface. I was gonna say, we gotta have some super strength there, right? Super strength! And like I said, I'm not doing this 100%. This is just a backdrop for whatever. It's nothing super serious. You can play as the Goons. Oh, I forgot about that. You can totes play as the Goons. That's funny. Why would Robin and Nightwing be both accessible when they do the same things? That's weird. Okay, you know what? I'm just not gonna overthink this. Robin. So Robin suits, I think, would be animated series, both versions. So Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Robin suits from Batman the Animated Series. Robin suit from The Batman. So the Batman 2004. The Robin suit from Batman Brave and the Bold. The Robin suit from Batman Forever. The Robin suit from Batman and Robin. I think that's it. I don't think there's... I mean, New 52 Robin from the comics. DC Rebirth Robin. And probably Tim Drake's Robin from the comics. Jason Todd's Robin from the comics. And Dick Grayson's different various comic looks. So Dick Grayson will probably have more than Batgirl. For Nightwing I don't think we'll have very many at all. Nightwing costumes, my estimate would be the blue and black, so Chuck Dixon Nightwing. Disco Nightwing, first appearance. I think we'll see first appearances for both Robin, Batgirl, Catwoman, and Commissioner Gordon, because the reason why I say this is you have first appearance skins for Batman based on 1939, and Jim Gordon's 1939 Golden Age. I almost said Golden Eye. Golden Age. So getting Golden Age Robin, Batgirl, Catwoman makes a lot of sense. It could have like a whole Golden Age thing. Nightwing would be Disco Nightwing. First appearance, 1980s. 90s, early 90s Nightwing, gold and blue, which Nightwing had this giant yellow armored shield on his chest. He had a long ponytail, and then he graduated to his more iconic look the past 30 years, which is blue and black. You'll probably get his new 52 Nightwing costume, which is red and black, followed by his DC Rebirth costume, and his current DC costume. And maybe his Titans costume that Brenton wore, or something like that. I don't know. I don't think it'll be very much. Animated Nightwing costume, which is basically just the same thing as Chuck Dixon, just a little bit different. And you'll probably get the Young Justice Nightwing costume. Oh, I also forgot. Nightwing, or probably Robin and Batgirl's Young Justice costumes as well. I think they'll stick to themes a little bit, for the most part. And I think, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I think I figured out how they're going to round out the rest of Batman's costumes, if he really has 70. So we got Sonar Batman here, we got Demolition Batman, Glide Batman, Fire Batman, and then you have different Batman things in Lego Batman 2, special Batman suits, and special Batman suits like Space Batman and stuff like that in LB3. So I think Traveler's Tales will probably incorporate some of the bat suits from the Lego games. At least I hope they will. Suck it all up. It's vacuum time. Yeah. One time. So since this is a shorter stream, I don't really want to do Batman Returns too much. There we go. You can't go wrong with this. This soundtrack is peak. There's just something that is so good about this soundtrack that literally made me replay Batman the Animated Series on Super Nintendo last night. That's how good this soundtrack is. It's peak. And it also did a great job of incorporating the Batman the Animated Series music from the show and rearranging it on the Super Nintendo with just flawless accuracy. That's what I have to say about that. Are you talking to AV then? Was I speaking to AV recently? We talked yesterday. Will we get Red Robin suit? Probably. Both Robin's Young Justice suits. Yes. Keep in mind, Nightwing gets the dorky suits. Since Catwoman has her own burglary side quest, do you think there's going to be other side quests for the different sidekicks? I don't know. Maybe. I think it's a possibility. But also, Catwoman starts as a villain from what everybody keeps telling me. She's going to be a villain in Legacy of the Dark Knight, and then she's going to help Batman out over the course of the story. Kind of like what Catwoman did in Arkham. So... Oh yeah, and I forgot. Arkham costumes for Robin, Batgirl, Nightwing, Batman, and Catwoman. Highly likely. But, I mean, yeah. That's a given. Because they said there'll be video game costumes for, you know, people besides Batman characters, so they probably mean the other playable characters. So we'll see probably the Bald Wonder for Robin. We'll see Nightwing's costume, probably from... I hope it's the Arkham City one, personally. I really like the Arkham City Nightwing. Need to be the other guys. No. Yes! Earth-shattering kaboom! Yeah, that worked. Now, which Robin was the one that had this stuff in his backpack? Oh, they both have it. Okay, well, we don't need Nightwing then. I mean, we do need Nightwing. Let's have, do we want to have Freeze out? Yes, we have Freeze. Freeze is right there. Who sent the super chat? That was me. What is the main costume for Nightwing I would want? This one. The main costume for Nightwing is always... I love the Chick Duck... wow, let me do that again. I love the Chuck Dixon blue and black. I think that Chuck was a freaking genius when he came up with the Nightwing redesign for the 90s, because it's perfect. It's got the darkness of Batman with the black, and it's got the blue signature, you know, little touch of blue that Nightwing had with both his disco suit and his red and his gold and blue suit. It's a perfect modernization of Dick Grayson's Nightwing costume. Absolutely perfect. I love it. So, I mean, I'm sure we'll get either the Jim Lee Nightwing costume, which is my favorite, which is a redesign of Chuck Dixon's costume, and it made it more iconic for Nightwing. Because people forget that Chuck Dixon Nightwing had the ponytail. He had the party in the back. He did. He had the long, achy, breaky heart ponytail. Mullet in the front, party in the back. Until, I believe, Nightwing rocked the mullet until probably 1996. It was thanks to Batman the Animated Series when they brought Nightwing into stuff that they got rid of the mullet and they just let Nightwing have long hair like Superman without the ponytail. So, but the ponytail was weird. Like, Nightwing had a ponytail that was halfway down his back. I remember that time. I don't remember it fondly, but it happened. It did happen. It was a weird time, okay? Not everything in the 90s was amazing. There was some weird stuff. Out of my way, Clayface. I'm just gonna hammer you with... Yeah, there you go. There's another super chop? From who? Daffy? Hey Luke, will Traveler's Tales make a LEGO DC and Marvel video game crossover? No. Not for the time being. So, there's a lot of rumors going around that Traveler's Tales is hard at work on Marvel games. That's not the case because Warner Brothers doesn't have the permission to make Marvel games anymore. When they made 3 Marvel games, like LEGO Marvel, LEGO Avengers, like the MCU, and LEGO Marvel 2, it's been so long since the last LEGO Marvel games that they have, like, not the licenses for that anymore. Also, LEGO went out on their own, and they're going to be doing a lot more stuff with other companies. So, I mean, it's not to say that there won't be a new LEGO Avengers game, but Traveler's Tales won't make it. Traveler's Tales will be sticking with Warner Brothers things from now on, so Batman, DC Comics, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. I don't know what else is LEGO Warner Brothers. Matrix. I don't know. They're not going to be, you know, putting their hands in the cookie jar of other franchises as much because they work for Warner Brothers. So LEGO as a brand, they've gone out of their way to... Why is that guy here? LEGO as a brand, they'll be making their own LEGO games. So the next LEGO Marvel game will be handled by a different company. Because I'm sure they'll have a LEGO Marvel game. LEGO's not allergic to money. I don't even know if Traveler's Tales would be allowed to make a LEGO City game at this point because they don't have the entire LEGO license anymore. So, you know, as before, like, they were able to make whatever LEGO game they wanted, you know, to an extent. They don't have that type of authority anymore. Because the LEGO people are making their own LEGO stuff, as well as 2K Interactive also has the LEGO license for this, but they're mostly going to make, like, LEGO racing games. Let's go, Nightwing. So, the people reporting on the rumor that there's going to be more LEGO Marvel by Traveler's Tales, it's not true. The thing that you can hope for is a LEGO Superman game, a LEGO Justice League game, or a new Lego Harry Potter, or a new Lego Lord of the Rings type thing. Like, those are possibilities. But I think that mostly Traveler's Tales is just going to end up doing Batman, probably. Because there's only one other franchise that's going to get a lot of attention from fans that Traveler's Tales does. It'll be Star Wars, or it will be Lego Batman. So I don't think even they can make another Lego Star Wars. I don't believe so. I think Disney would hire someone else to make it. Plus, Traveler's Tales and Disney did not, you know, do really well together. Superman Legacy. Make it happen, James Gunn. Yeah, there you go. Superman Legacy on all the Superman movies. The writing for Selina in Rises was good, at least. Selina was okay in Rises. I still... My favorite Catwoman for the movies is Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer is the best film Catwoman. I know they changed her origin a little bit. You know, they had, like, all the cats lick her face and gave her superpowers and stuff. But the most realistic version of Catwoman, at least for the 90s, was Selina Kyle. And even though it was a 90s movie, there's a lot of stuff that even 30 years later, you watch Batman Returns, and there are things that resonate with you if you're a lady. Like, my wife didn't like Batman Returns when we were first married. Like, she didn't really care for it very much. She said it was too dark, and she didn't like some stuff. But then she was watching the movie again, and she was like, wow, this is, oh, I know how to do this. Back off. We need Robin. No. Stop. This is the old way of doing it. We need Batman. Oh, wait. Darn. It's still being annoying. So Robin is always going to be... I can't switch to... There we go. Now switch to Batman. Bingo. Now Batgirl will be with us. Now it'll be Nightwing and Batgirl. Okay. That got a little... Okay. I'm going to Mr. Freeze's level now. Now this will work. Boom goes the dynamite. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. Where was I? We're talking about film Catwoman, stuff like that. How it resonated with 90s. Like, the stuff that Selina Kyle goes through with her boss and, you know, like, all the expectations for women and, you know, it has, like, girl power moments in it, but it's subtle girl power. It's not, like, in your face like some movies today. You know, Selina's a working lady. She has something terrible happen to her, and then she has to deal with all these new things that are changing in her life, as well as, like, her cat abilities and things like that. And, like, if she's willing, what she's willing to do to get back at the man who tried to kill her and stuff like that. So she's, in terms of, like, on-screen Catwoman, she's the most realistic. Outside of her weird, freaky cat powers. Because her cat powers by, you know, Tim Burton make things a little weird. And she does have powers because she gets shot like 7 times. She falls off a building. She doesn't die. And then when she fell off the building and she was brought back to life by the cats and things like that, she had like some strange abilities. It wasn't just some lady in a cat suit, which I was hoping it'd be like a lady in a cat suit. But that, you know, some people don't like that about the fantasy element of Selina Kyle as Catwoman. But she's perfect. Like, she's perfect at playing the timid receptionist and then the kind of, I wouldn't say girl boss, but like the more confident, like, female, like, partner or something like that. You know? As well as her secret identity as a costume villainess, kind of. It all worked really well in Batman Returns, which for me, even 30 years later, there's no on-screen Catwoman that even comes remotely close to toppling her. We didn't see enough of the Batman Catwoman, and she didn't really do enough in the movie to be like, oh yeah, she had a great performance as Catwoman. She was okay, but we didn't get to see a lot with her. She needs her own, like, spin-off show, or she needs to appear in, like, the Batman Part 2. It needs to be something that, you know, fans can kind of, like, sink their teeth in with her character. And the Dark Knight Rises Catwoman, Selina was okay, but I don't think they ever referred to her as Catwoman. I think she was just Selina. And it felt like the romance that they did between those two characters was kind of forced. Like, it didn't feel, like, natural. You know, like, why would Batman go out of his way for her when, in the movie, he actually sleeps with, Talia and has more of a romantic relationship with Talia than he does Catwoman, you know? And then suddenly they just randomly decide to get together. That felt kind of a little weird to me. Like, they both did the clean slate thing at the end of the movie, and they had that much... Like, where was the chemistry with these characters on screen? Because it felt to me like Christian Bale's Batman was just annoyed with Catwoman. It didn't feel like he was enamored with her, really. Now, I'm going to say something controversial, but I feel like Gal Gadot would have made an excellent Catwoman. Because her appearance in the movie, like, where she and Ben are interacting at that party and stuff, it has, like, such Selina vibes to it that doesn't really feel like Diana, like, at all. Like, if... I actually thought, because... You know, part of me, when I was watching the movie, like, Gal would have made a great Catwoman for her time, because she just had, like, this mysterious thing about her. It was hard for me, like, watching and being like, this is Wonder Woman, because, like, it felt like Selina Kyle. Like, her, like, sneaking around and doing espionage stuff inside of the party and all this other stuff. But that's the vibe I got from Gal, is, like, she would have made a great Catwoman. She could still play Catwoman, I guess, if she wanted to. Jason Momoa's coming back as a different character. But... she just... I don't know, she had that, like, 90s Catwoman vibe to me. Catwoman did. Out of my way, Riddler Thug. Riddler Thug gets beat down by Riddler. And Freeze guy. Alright, where's the dude with super strength? Oh, Mr. Freeze, of course. And I know that the rumor is Ben Affleck had a certain lady actress in mind that he was dating or something like that, that would have played Catwoman. I don't know what her name was, though. They were a thing during the pandemic or something like that. I don't know. I don't really like talking a lot about celebrity relationships, though, because celebrities haven't been married as long as I have. Haha. Actually, most YouTubers haven't been married as long as Amber and I. Which is funny, because people still think we're in the honeymoon phase, because we're just so... I don't know, there's just something about us that people don't get. We don't get either, we're just the way we are. But it's not like we're perfect. I mean, Amber and I bicker sometimes. I mean, what married couple doesn't fight? And, you know, we fight over basic, normal stuff like finances, or if the cats make a mess or something. Or if, like, you know, I've been in the hospital or something like that. Or if she spent too much money at getting shoes or something. Amber loves shoes. She has a lot of cute shoes. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, wait. I'm gonna blow this up. There it is. Yeah! Did we get another super shot? Who did I miss? One sec. Man, that sucks. I don't know what that context is to Daffy. Did I get everybody? It was Daffy and who else? Rocket Raccoon. I think that was everybody. Yeah, we should be good. Dun, 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 dun. I am fully up for more Lego stuff. Yes. Lego Superman Legacy. Everybody wants a Superman Lego game. I do too. Fair. I prefer Bale over Batfleck myself. To each their own. Keaton is still my top. I don't like Batfleck, says Goth. I mean, both Batfleck and Keaton share similarities. They're the only Batmen that are very quiet. Bale is not quiet. Bale goes around talking like this all the time. You know, so both Ben Affleck and Keaton, they have very silent Batman. Keaton and Ben Affleck's Batman are Batman of action. Few words, action. Which I like that. Batman only speaks... If you go back and watch the Suicide Squad, Ben Affleck only really speaks to, Deadshot. Like, out of all the people, he only talks to Deadshot. And he only says, I don't want to do this in front of your daughter. He didn't want to take Deadshot down. And then Deadshot decided to fight back, and Batman had no choice. But when he apprehends Harley Quinn, and when he goes after some other people, he doesn't talk. He's just like this... And I remember being in the theater watching the Suicide Squad and seeing the Batman stuff. And I was like, this is it. This is peak Batman. This is exactly how Batman in the animated series acted. He didn't, he didn't talk very much. But Keaton's Batman hardly spoke at all. Which he was like this gothic, very mysterious creature that stalked the rooftops of Gotham. And every once in a while, he would break character and he would, like, talk to the audience, like, and show his human side, which very few Batman did well. Like, Keaton did that incredibly well. Ben Affleck tried to do it, but Ben Affleck was such an imposing Batman that when he broke character and he swore or, like, he, he looked at the camera and he was afraid or something like that, it didn't have that same type of, like, hook that, Michael Keaton's Batman did when things really got dangerous and Michael Keaton was just like, okay, now I'm a little worried, or that's not right, that kind of stuff. It worked well. When other Batmen try to do it, it doesn't work as well because they're not playing the same type of Batman that Keaton did. So Keaton is both, like, a great, like, dark, mysterious character, but also he was really good at showing the human side of Batman. Which I respect him for that. Bale's Batman was very monologue-y. It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me. He was the Batman of philosophical quotes. He wasn't always... He was quiet sometimes, but for the most part, he'd always, like, when somebody would say something to him, he'd be like, yeah, got it. He just... Bale was always... He was the chatty Batman. It was like, sometimes I was watching Bale, and I'm like, are we watching George Clooney? Because George Clooney was the gabby Batman. Like, he talked the most. Hi, Freeze. I'm Batman. This is why Superman works alone. He talks so much. And he talked as George Clooney. He didn't even try to sound like Batman. Like, at all. He didn't put in the effort whatsoever to try to make his Bruce or Batman sound completely different. And his Batman came out during the same time that Kevin was killing it on TV as animated Batman. He didn't even attempt it. At least Val Kilmer attempted to make a Batman voice. He tried. But, Clooney did nothing. Clooney's just like, hi, Freeze, I'm Batman. It's like, who says that? At least Adam West tried to disguise his voice sometimes. He had, like, kind of a higher pitched tone for his Bruce Wayne and acted like kind of an idiot. And then his Batman was more, like, commanding voice and, more bass and gravitas. And his Bruce Wayne was very kind of, like, shy and bored and, his Bruce Wayne and Batman, Clooney's, sound exactly the same. He didn't even try. That's one of the reasons I don't like Clooney is Clooney didn't care. He phoned it in. He did. Go back and watch. Go watch a highlight of all the times Clooney talks as Batman and Bruce Wayne. He sounds identical. He doesn't even try. He sounds like he's playing the doctor from ER as Batman. That's it. Kilmer's Bruce Wayne had a very quiet intelligence to his Bruce Wayne. He was very smart, and he was a guy that was in command as both Bruce Wayne and Batman. With his Batman, he didn't talk that much, but when he did talk, he had like a almost like Keaton-esque sound to his voice, because he was trying to do the Michael Keaton Batman a little bit, but he also added his own spin. But Clooney? Nah, Clooney didn't try. Even though we make fun of Bale's Batman, Bale at least gave it the old college try. His first Batman voice in Batman Begins is peak. But we never got that voice again. Every movie after sounded like this. I'm throat cancer, Batman. Draco! But his Batman Begins was actually, you know, even though he's philosophical Batman with his monologues and stuff like that, I'm not gonna kill you, but I don't have to save you. Can you think of any other Batman that did a lot of film related like monologue quotes? Val Kilmer had one at the end of the movie where he's talking to Eddie about why he's Batman and why he's Bruce Wayne. That was a great quote that ended the movie. And also he was responding to riddles, but he didn't have like any philosophical you know, haiku moments like Bale's Batman. And the reason why Bale's Batman spoke like that, he mentioned this in an interview many, many years ago. He was trained in Tibet and other places, so his Batman is like neck deep in like Asian mysticism and stuff like that. He's a ninja, for crying out loud. So of course he's going to have like some haiku stuff, which was very common of samurais. A lot of people didn't catch that though. They're like, why is Batman doing all this monologue stuff? It's like, because he's a ninja. And ninjas and samurai do haikus. I understood it right away when I watched it. I was like, okay, so he's going to be a haiku Batman. That's actually kind of cool. We haven't seen this in film before. You know, and his Batman Begins did that. But I mean, Clooney was just Clooney. And even when he came back in The Flash, he just acted the same way he always does. You know, when Flash is like, you're Batman, he's like, keep it down. You know, he's just being George Clooney. It's like, no! Stop! You're breaking my heart, DC. At least do something different. It's like, James Gunn, why? Why did you do that? Why'd you have the Flash destroy the multiverse? And why did you punish us by putting Flash back in the Batman and Robin universe? Like, why? What purpose did that serve? Okay. I don't get it. I don't get it! I don't get it, chat. I want to understand, but I don't care. Alright, so we need somebody who can deal with poison, and the person who can deal with poison is the Joker. Aha! And we need to switch to a character that can do bombs. It could be Penguin. Hooray! Joker here. There he is. Hi-ho, couch potatoes. Fun times to be had by all. Sorry for ragging on Clooney so much. It's just, I don't like his Batman at all. I wish he would have taken, like, maybe a little bit of approach of some decorum that Val Kilmer's Batman tried to do. And, you know, but he did his own thing completely. At least Kilmer was trying to be like, alright, so this is how Michael Keaton spoke as Batman. I'm going to do something similar to that. Clooney didn't even try anything. He's like, yeah. Ah! Well, that sucks. Oh, no! You can't have me there! That's not fair! Ah! I'll never switch to Batman. Ah! No! What in the world? That's straight up messed up. Okay, why do we even need to go over there? You're forever gonna be stuck over there? Holy crap, man. Stop. Stop, please! Ah! My studs! Seriously? Just get out of there! No! Why me? Why me, chat? Oh my gosh. All my studs. All my freaking studs. Wrong. Why can't you just float over here? Ugh. Okay, you gotta admit that was both funny and stupid. Alright, somebody else gave a super chat. What do we got? I don't think they cared with Batman and Robin. They just wanted to sell toys with the movie. Yeah, that's true. It's a giant toy commercial. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when Schumacher said the movie was toyetic, yeah. I know. I'm aware. In Batman Forever, at least Schumacher was trying to make art. Batman and Robin, Schumacher's like, they want to sell toys, so let's have fun making the worst movie of all time. Yay! And Batman and Robin fighting just for the sake of fighting in the movie is so weird. It's like they should have just had him be Nightwing and not Robin, but they were like, he became Robin at the end of the movie, so he's still Robin like 3 or 4 years later, even though he's an adult. Even though he's in his 20s now. He was like 17 when Batman Forever came out. But we're just gonna have him be an adult as Robin with a Nightwing costume and a cape. It works. It's like, no, it really didn't. You should have just let him become Nightwing. And they shouldn't have had Batgirl in the movie at all. Like, there was no reason. Because we didn't really get to see a lot of Batman and Robin act like a team. Like, they're supposed to be the dynamic duo. What did they do that was showing that they were partners, really? You know? Oh, well. I just like to complain for the sake of complaining. I can always talk about how much I don't like Batman and Robin. It's in my blood. Even as a child, I was disappointed in that movie. I was like, no, what, why? What is this? The only thing that I liked about the Batman and Robin movie was the tension between Batgirl and Robin. Because I got that... I was a huge fan of Robin and Batgirl in the animated series and their, like, you know, relationship stuff. So when those characters were basically, you know, hinting at a romantic relationship in the movie, it was like, oh, okay, I like this. But that's really the only thing I took away as a positive. And even then, they were both kind of annoying and rude to each other, so it was like, well, I guess it's good enough. Good enough! We have no studs. We have no studs! Okay, whatever. How do I beat him again? Leave me alone. So Amber last night was asking me, she was like, you're working on another Batman video? It's like, I'm working on several Batman videos. It's like, what are you talking about? I'm gonna strike while the iron is hot. Of course I am. Why wouldn't I? Okay, I can't do that. Darn it. Yeah, thanks for standing there, computer. Batgirl versus... What's his face? Dun, 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 dun. DCU Batman family's gonna be great. Well, what if they have Chris Pratt be Batman? Will you guys still be like, DCU Batman's better than DCEU Batman? You are gonna be crying for Ben Affleck to come back as Batman if Chris Pratt is Batman. I'm just saying. A lot of you are gonna be like, you know what? Ben Affleck actually wasn't bad. He was underrated. That's what's gonna happen to most of you people. Because you know James Gunn, he's gonna make Batman someone that you don't want to be Batman. It's gonna be either Jensen Ackles, Chris Pratt. It'll be nobody's fan cast whatsoever. It's not gonna be any fan cast, because he doesn't do fan casting. And then people are gonna be begging for Affleck to come back. And Affleck's gonna be like, nope. I'm good. You don't think James Gunn would do that? I don't know. So far, he's cast all his friends in, you know, several different types of roles. So, I mean, anything's possible. I still think Jensen Ackles is going to be Batman, personally. It's either going to be Jensen Ackles or to be that, one guy. The big guy who played Hawk in Titan. Like, he could probably do it. But I still feel that Ben's Batman was underrated because we didn't really get to see him do Batman stuff. We only got to see Ben Affleck in the role of an ensemble character, which not a fan of that. And I think a lot of people really would have liked his solo movie, too. But the moments that we got to see of Ben Affleck's Batman, he was good. I just didn't like when he was joking around and doing one-liners, because it doesn't work for his Batman. His Batman is a tortured character. To see him joke around and stuff randomly in Joss Whedon's Justice League was so weird. When it's like, how did this Batman go from this tortured soul that we had in BVS to this, like, prankster, like, talking about, do you talk to fish? I was like, oh. I hear you talk to fish. Okay. I like the parody Affleck stuff funny. There were things on the internet. There were numerous times that Ben Affleck's Batman used guns because he's the Frank Miller Batman. So all these people would parody things like Batman killing parademons with guns and stuff on the internet. And Wonder Woman goes up to him and she's like, "You like guns now?" And he's like, "I like guns now." And she's like, "Okay." And he's like, "Why did I never use guns before? I'm on equal footing with you guys." And then she's like, "Because your parents were killed by guns." And then he has like this sad violin moment, like this parody, where he just breaks down and then Wonder Woman's like, "We lost Bruce. Bruce is stuck in his childhood trauma again." He's like, "Why am I using guns?" Oh, that's funny. Because, I mean, Ben Affleck's Batman did use a lot of guns. Which is weird for him. It's like, I guess the gun tragedy didn't really affect his Batman very much. But he was based after Frank Miller's Batman. Frank Miller's Batman used a sniper rifle, for crying out loud, as his back grapple. And carried around a sniper rifle and other stuff. He's like, okay. And technically, he killed Robin, too, didn't he? Like, when Dick Grayson came back as the second Joker, didn't he kill him? I think he did. Mr. Freeze boss is so annoying! Come on! Chill! Chill! Get him from behind! Yes! Yeah, Batman retired using a gun. He picked up a gun as Batman Beyond, and that was his catalyst for retiring. That is correct. Film Batman... This is what I don't understand about people. Every film Batman, except for Matt Reeves... Matt Reeves killed people. Kind of. Or it's implied they died. You know, Batman's reckless driving. But that's manslaughter. Most film Batmen, from Keaton to Val Kilmer... I don't know if George Clooney killed anybody. Did George Clooney's Batman kill anybody? Is he the only on-screen Batman that didn't take a life? Did Bane die? Poison Ivy didn't... Wait, Poison Ivy died, didn't she? Is Batman Return... Or Batman and Robin the only movie where nobody dies? Yeah, Clooney didn't kill anybody. Kilmer did. And yes, Matt Reeves' Batman did kill. Yes, he did. Go back and watch the car chase scene again between Penguin and Batman. Batman is so invested in getting Penguin that several cars get destroyed with his reckless driving. So, either those people died or they got seriously hurt, but that Batman isn't against, like, hurting people. He hurts people a lot in that movie. But I wouldn't say he deliberately killed them. That'd be manslaughter. Manslaughter. Or, as Liam Neeson puts it, man's laughter. Must have been a hilarious joke. Says you're in prison for man's laughter. That's manslaughter. It was mostly Penguin? It was mostly Penguin. Yeah, it's a car chase between two people ramming each other, but we'll put all the blame on Penguin. That makes sense. Yeah, but Ben Affleck deliberately killed people. Yep. So did Keaton. So did Kilmer. So, Kilmer killed a bunch of Two-Face thugs. A couple times in the movie. One of his most famous sequences for killing a ton of people is Two-Face is going after Batman. And he attacks him with a bazooka in the Batmobile. And Batman sees that there are people behind him. And he hits a switch in the Batmobile that has it do like a jet turn to the side. Like basically he does a sidestep in the Batmobile. So all the guys behind him get blown up by, you know, Two-Face. Which obviously the Batmobile can't take an RPG. So the next time in that same sequence, Batman is coming to a dead end in a road. And he uses his bat grapple to escape. And then all the people that are chasing behind him die. And he sets up like a 3 or 4 or 6 car pileup. And, you know, deliberately killed those people because he went down an alleyway on purpose. He knew, because he knows Gotham like the back of his hand. So you see him turn into an alleyway. And you're like, well, what is he going to do in there? Oh, he's going to drive up the side of the building. Well, what about all the... Oh, okay. He kills Two-Face at the end of the movie by throwing the coins, knowing that Harvey is going to grab the coins. And then Robin is looking at him like, he's hyperventilating because he wanted to be the one to kill Two-Face, but he's like, I guess it's okay if someone else killed Two-Face. That whole thing where, you know, that whole dialogue between Val and Chris O'Donnell, like, what happens if you go and take a life? Then you'll be searching for another, and another, and another. And it's like, Val Kilmer's Batman literally just killed Two-Face right in front of Robin. He gave Robin a lecture about it's not okay to take a life. And here he is, killing Two-Face. It's like, what? You just had that whole lecture about why he can't be his partner because he'd murder people. And then you're killing people. Oh, that's like 90s morality there. 90s movie morality. I don't want you to kill people, but it's okay if I do it. Did nobody remember that? I mean, he didn't have a choice, though. He had to kind of kill Two-Face because Two-Face was going to shoot either Robin, Chase Meridian, or him. So three people were going to... One person was going to die, so Batman was like, well, the only person who needs to die is Two-Face. But then he made sure that, you know, Riddler didn't die. So it was okay. He killed Two-Face and let Riddler live. It's fine. It's a heroic thing to do. It's so goofy. He didn't have to kill Two-Face. Well, I mean, Two-Face literally had the gun on people's... He had the gun drawn on... I think he was going to shoot Robin in the head. I don't remember. Like, it looked really bad for Robin. And Batman had just rescued Dr. Chase Meridian. So, you know, he got the girl, but he's like, ah, man, I have this new teenage sidekick that's full of angst. What do I do? I know. I'm just going to completely forget my lecture on not killing people, and I'm just going to straight up kill Two-Face. And that's why I think Robin has, like, this horrific look on his face where he's, like, watching Two-Face fall to his death. And he's just like, go back and watch the scene. Chris O'Donnell's like, he has all this, like, anger and, like, you know, rage watching Two-Face die. And then Batman's just kind of like, let's go. And it's like, they should have had, right at that point, they should have Schumacher have, like, Robin mention, what about all that lecture about not killing Two-Face? You just killed him. Something. But nobody pays attention to it. They're just like, it's fine. It's okay if Batman kills. Robin can't kill people, though. It's not on brand for Robin. Teenage Robin. But, you know, we've seen Batman kill as Michael Keaton, so Val Kilmer has to kill people, too. Keaton killed Joker. Keaton killed Penguin. Keaton killed a lot of the Red Triangle Circus Gang. It's fine. And then Val Kilmer's Batman puts Riddler inside the insane asylum, the Arkham Asylum. The only Batman villain outside of Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy to survive long enough to be thrown into Arkham. Everyone else is dead. Everyone else didn't make it. Penguin didn't make it. Joker didn't make it. Two-Face didn't make it. Whoops. And I understand what they were trying to do. They were like, we're trying to show that our Batman doesn't kill people. As long as you're not paying attention to the movie. Because if you're paying attention to the movie, you're like, well, I mean, I guess he's not purposely trying to kill people like Keaton's Batman did. Val Kilmer didn't deliberately put, like, burn a guy with the Batmobile as a flamethrower. Like, he's kind of like manslaughter Batman, just like Matt Reeves' Batman. Like, he'll only unintentionally kill somebody if, like, someone is in danger. Like, the reason why Batman drove so crazy on the highways, he was trying to apprehend the Penguin so that more people wouldn't die. Or something. Like, he thought that, you know, as long as I get this guy, it doesn't matter if anyone else is harmed. I have to apprehend Penguin no matter what. So that's why he's driving with his, you know, jet fuel, and he's ramming into people and whatever. He's on a mission. Doesn't matter if people die as a result of it, he needs to apprehend Penguin. So he has a different mindset, so that makes it okay, and people kind of overlook it. But Val Kilmer's Batman, he did purposely kill people. Just not as much as Keaton's did. Keaton did it with a psychotic smile. Like, the strongman, you know, takes a punch from Keaton, and the strongman is getting ready to kill Keaton, and Keaton's like, he smiles really big, and the strongman's like, what? And he looks down and he has the bomb on him, Keaton had this murderous grin on his face, which it worked for the character of Michael Keaton's Batman, but is that a very Batman thing to do? No. But I really feel like if we didn't have Michael Keaton's Batman, then DC Comics never would have created Midnighter. Because if you look at Michael Keaton's Batman and compare him to DC Comics like Midnighter, they're kind of similar. They're both really evil, they kill people, they're considered heroes. But they you know, they're kind of murdery. Murder vigilantes. And don't get me wrong, I love Keaton's portrayal of Batman. I'm just saying, to me, it's just kind of funny. That's all. And I like how they're trying to do their best to, you know, distance themselves, because I was talking to somebody years ago and they were like, well, you know, Ben Affleck's Batman and Keaton and Kilmer might have been killers, but at least George Clooney and Batman Begins Batman, like Bale's Batman, wasn't a killer. And I'm like, what? They said, yeah, Batman Begins Batman, he didn't hurt anybody. He just didn't save Ra's. And I was like, so what about all the ninja wives that became widows and all the ninja orphan children? And they're like, what are you talking about? I said, he blew up the League of Assassins with dynamite. What happens when you blow up a building with dynamite? Do people run out the exit like it's a Naked Gun movie where they're like, you know, dispersed, nothing to see here? He wiped out half of the League of Assassins on purpose. It's like, what are you talking about? Bale's Batman didn't kill. Yes, he did. I think he even killed people in The Dark Knight a little bit, too. Maybe not as much, but in Batman Begins, he totally killed a bunch of people. On purpose. He didn't have to do that. He was like, well, these people are going to go bring war to Gotham. You know, I haven't said that I'm not going to take a life yet, so it's fine. We can get away with this. Bale threw Harvey off a building. Bale was like, we're gonna go dive off the side of this building now. And you could argue, well, he did the right thing. The child was about to be killed. It's like, yeah, he was gonna shoot Gordon's kid. Exactly. He made a decision to kill Harvey and he killed him. So that's why it's weird to me where Batman's like, I could be the killer. I killed those people. It's like, yes, you did. You did kill all those ninjas. You did kill Harvey Dent. You didn't kill the people that Harvey killed. You know, the cops. You're not a cop killer. But you have killed people. And Gordon's like, no, you're not a killer. It's like, the dude just, like, literally face-planted Harvey Dent in front of you to save your son. He totally killed Harvey. It wasn't an accident. He knew what was going to happen diving off the side of the building. I think Batman thought he was going to die too, though. I think when Bale's Batman dove and took Harvey, I don't think he was planning on surviving the fall. But, I mean, he does have shock absorption things in his suit. So if he falls, you know, unlike a normal person that, you know, your bones are brittle and they'll break, when Batman falls, his cape slows him down, slows down gravity, and he has absorption padding built into the suit to absorb, like, the impact of when falling down. So, even from that height, unless he dove head first, it wouldn't kill him. It would hurt, but he wouldn't die, whereas a regular guy in a business suit, whoa, falling off a cliff, they're kind of toast, you know? Yeah, he probably thought both of them would die. It was a sacrificial thing, and then he found out I'm alive, and it's like, oops, I killed another one, Jim. My bad. But that's why there was all these parodies of Christian Bale's Batman on the internet saying, do you guys remember the College Humor Batman? Where they would do this joke when Batman killed people, he would say they're only sleeping because he didn't kill people. Even though there were batarangs, like, sticking out of people's faces. Or he has, like, these, like, bat claw thingies on his gauntlet. and he's stabbing people with them, and Gordon's like, what are you doing? Why are you killing these people? And he's like, I'm not killing them. I'm stabbing them with my fat, pointy things. They're totally fine. And then Penguin tries to shoot Commissioner Gordon, and Batman throws a batarang right through Penguin's head, and he's like, the poor guy's tuckered out. He's sleeping. Oh, I love that. But the reason why they did that parody is because it was absurd that people were saying that Bale's Batman didn't kill people, because he did too. He didn't purposely try to kill people. People died because of his actions. He indirectly killed people. Except when he directly killed all the ninjas, and directly killed Two-Face, and directly killed Bane. And who else? Who else did he kill? He killed a bunch of people in Dark Knight Rises. I mean, it was war, so, I mean, there was that. It was a war for Gotham's soul, so he kind of got rid of his no-kill rule in The Dark Knight Rises. Because he let Catwoman kill Bane. He knew what she was going to do. He knew she was a murderer. He gave her a murder weapon and let her kill Bane. Technically, he killed Talia. You could say Gravity killed her, but didn't he blow her up with the bat or something like that? They're only sleeping. I don't kill people. My batarangs do. I love the Batman parodies, yeah. And the thing is, like, Bale's Batman, he's a great Batman, but people wouldn't have parodied him to the extent that they did with his voice and his, like, manslaughteriness if he didn't do that stuff in the movies. Like, there was actually some basis to make fun of him where the only thing that they parodied Ben Affleck to death, they didn't make fun of him for fighting, they didn't make fun of his costume, they made fun of Martha! Your mom's name is my mom's name. I can't really think of a lot that they parody Matt Reeves' Batman, though. His Batman was very serious. I only see people really making fun of the Riddler from Matt Reeves, like calling him a Reddit mod. Like, I don't... People don't really talk about the Batman as much because it's not as... I don't know, there's not really enough for society to meme or anything with it. Like, I can't think of really any major memes that happen because of the Batman, except for that one scene where he's screaming, like, Bale. He's doing a Bale impression where he's like, where are they? Sounded like a dog. That was the only thing that I remember about the movie that, like, became a meme for a little while. And him just, like, aura staring at people. That was about it. And then his monologue at the end of the movie, he also starts to do the whole Batman haiku thing. Yeah, with Ben Affleck, they just made fun of Martha, but go back and you listen to the parodies of BVS. They're actually making fun of Bale still, too, because they gave Ben Affleck Bale's voice. Like, most of the people parodying the Martha thing, they're still doing Bale's voice. Because when you make fun of Batman, you use Bale's voice. Even 20 years later, people still do it. Because it's funny. I still, like, make fun of, like, Bale's Batman on occasion because his voice is just, it's so perfect to make fun of Batman. Like, how do you make a serious character like Batman funny? You do the Bale voice. It's really that simple. I could be reading the phone book, and people would still laugh. Because the voice, they know where it's coming from. I do this voice, people know I'm doing a Batman joke. Immediately. I don't even have to be playing Batman for people who know where the impression is coming from. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, the type of power that voice has, you know, that it has on people's subconscious is incredible. Both Affleck and Robert Pattinson don't have that type of, like, legacy with their Batman voice the way that Bale does. But I mean, it's funny though. Like, we can parody Bale's Batman, but also still respect everything that the Dark Knight movies did because they were so serious. But, like, his voice just, like, it resonated with people and it became, like, a parody of Batman. Like, when there wasn't... Really think back. Before Bale, what was the stuff that people used to parody Batman about? Like, those of you who are 90s kids, what, besides Adam West, what type of, like, in our pop culture do you remember them making fun of Batman? I can only remember a couple instances, and it was, like, jokes and Freakazoid and Animaniacs showing, like, and Tiny Toons, showing, like, the Batman actors wearing, like, rubber suits with nipples on them, and that was about it. Like, they never really had, like, a majorly, you know, intense parody for Batman. Well, you had the 60s Batman they were still making fun of, yeah. But the 60s Batman show was really goofy to begin with. Right? The Nolan films were super serious. And then people latched on to the voice of Bale, and it just went crazy. And the thing is, Nolan did not come up with the Bale voice. Bale did it. And Bale wasn't trying to be funny. He was trying to do his own Batman voice. In his own words, he was trying to bring justice to the Dark Knight. I still remember his accepting the award at the MTV Awards in 2005, or 2006, for, you know, for Batman. He went out of his way to make sure that Batman was cool again. And then by the time the Dark Knight came out, he changed his Batman voice to be something that became a parody of itself, because people really weren't making fun of his Batman in 2005, 2006. It wasn't until the Dark Knight. It wasn't until the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises that people started to make fun of his Batman voice in pop culture. They weren't doing it before. Not really. Yeah, I don't know why he changed the voice. Like, and then I guess Tom Hardy was like, well, I guess it's important that when you play a serious role, you know, nobody understands what you're saying. So his Bane was inspired by Bale. So you had a Batman who was like, where are they? And then you had a villain, I think they're over there, somewhere in this vicinity, probably, but you have your own problem story about Dark Knight. What did you say? you took super serious characters like Bane and Batman, and you gave them ridiculous voices, but it wasn't in a parody film. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. Tom Hardy and Bale trying to one-up each other with ridiculous voices. Yeah, also, have you ever noticed that Bale also just shows that, too, that it's almost like he's hyperventilating doing the voice? Think back, okay? This is the last time I'm going to make fun of this, but I want you guys to really picture this, okay? It sounds like Bale is hyperventilating, like he's running out of oxygen. Like, Granddaddy Otaku, a perfect example. Here we go. This city just showed you that it's ready to believe in good. Full of people who are ready to believe in good. It sounds like he's like even Bale's having problems doing the voice. Because it takes up so much oxygen to talk like this all the time, because you're really going into your diaphragm when you're using this voice, and you can't really be quiet with it at all, and your body starts to tingle, and your head starts to feel really dizzy doing this voice. Even I started to get lightheaded doing it. Ugh. Oh my gosh. I need a minute. I need a minute. I need a minute. Oh. But like I said, I really respect the Nolan films, but also I will love Bale forever because he gave, like, Batman another type of parody that's not Adam West. Like, there's a whole nother parody level to Batman that people can make fun of, and immediately you know what people are doing. Like, if you went to a comedy club and some guy started to do a Batman impression, you would immediately know he's doing Bale. If the comedian sounded like this, and he started to do a joke, you know he was spoofing Batman. Immediately. Without any second thought. But the reason why it's hard for me to do the Bale voice consecutively, too, is because, like, I mean, he used a computer for one, is what Bale has finally admitted, like, because you get lightheaded, because it's coming from deep in your diaphragm, and then you're pushing the air out at the same time. So you're actually losing oxygen to sound intimidating. It's like the air is coming in, and it's going out at the same time. Oh. If you did the voice enough, you would probably pass out from lack of oxygen. Oh. Oh my goodness. We have fun here. Yeah, the why so serious is meme forever. My father was a drinker. You want to know how I got these scars? I fell down a flight of stairs with a razor in my mouth. Why so serious? My father was a clown. I got these scars because I ran into his unicycle. Why are you laughing? Stop laughing. You haven't laughed this hard in a while, thank you. Well, I mean, I like the seriousness of Batman, but also I can appreciate the parody side of it, you know? Like, I mean, Batman is such a serious character that if he didn't have, like, some aspects to parody him, like, you know... Because it comes, like, my parodies come from a place of love, you know? I'm not, like, a Batman hater. I'm the opposite of it, but I love the parody side of it because I think it's hilarious. And it's not... There's a difference between parody and camp. Like, camp and parody are completely different. Because I'm parodying something serious. I'm not parodying the camp stuff. I'm parodying, like, the serious Batman and making it goofy. That's not camp. I've had to correct people about that over the years. There's a difference between parody... Because parody can be serious. Parody can be goofy. Parody can be, like, not in on the joke. Like the Naked Gun movies, you know? Parody is versatile. Whereas camp has to follow a certain demographic and a certain type of jokes, and it has to have a lighter tone and all kinds of stuff. Like, a parody is basically taking something that is completely different than the parody. The parody is the opposite of it. Like, the Batman voice is supposed to be, you know, scary. Like, when Bale did it, what's the famous line he did in Batman? Batman begins, "Swear to me!" You know, he's like getting really angry. The guy's like, I'm sorry, I swear to God. And he's like, swear to me. You know, he's getting all serious. But then when you do the parody, you're like, swear to me. You change the way that the tone is so that it sounds like you're doing a funnier voice. Instead of the more serious, angry, you're doing it more stupid-like. It all has to do with the delivery of the voice. Whoops. Da, 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 da. Aw, that's mean. I mean, look at the Arnold voices they do all the time. It comes from a place of love. I'm not making fun of Arnold. Arnold is one of my favorite actors. But at the same time, his voice is just so resonates with me that it's perfect for just making fun of it. Because how many people do you know that actually talk like this? There aren't that many people, right? Yes. It comes from a place of love in my heart because I am filled with the love of the character, the actor. And I think he's a great person. But his voice is just, it is funny. You don't have that many people that sound like this. And the great thing about it is they're trying so very hard to sound serious. And it's like, how can you take anyone seriously when they speak like this? Also, the voice is really fun to do. I love it. And as an Arnold super fan, I've seen all his movies, but I always remember some of his more intense roles that helped me shape the voice. My parody of his voice came from so many different pictures of Arnold, from Twins, from Batman and Robin, from True Lies, from Turbo Man, I mean Jig All the Way, from the Kindergarten Cop, and the Last Action Hero, and you know, and Conan the Barbarian. Like all those things is how like I made my Arnie voice over the years. Is I took the different mannerisms and I could switch on the fly whenever I want. If I wanted to go into the drive-thru right now, I'd order like this. It'd be no problem. I could switch whenever I want to. Like I can go back and forth. Everyone chill. Yes. It's not hard for me. It's very easy to do. I like doing the impressions. The impressions, they make people laugh. Because I like to entertain people. It's fun. I don't do this from a place of anger or a place of scorn. I do it from a place of comedy. Yes. Not really a comedian though. Oh, I see what we need to do. We have to do more of this stuff. Oh, that's a brutal throw, Nightwing. Batman Returns music. Down, 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 down. The question is, will I ever play Batman Returns again? I can't do a Keaton impression, though. Keaton's Batman voice is too hard for me to do because it doesn't have enough like bass to it. If I try to do Keaton, it sounds like I'm doing Batman Begins, Bale. Because you know, he has like a growl to his Batman. I'm Batman. You know, it still sounds like I'm doing a parody of Bale. So, you know. Because Bale's Batman, it sounds like a combination of Keaton's Batman a little bit. And then it has his own style to it. Which is true, like his, the Batman Begins voice, it sounds like Keaton a little bit. Not completely, but a little bit. Like, you watch that movie and you're like, oh, that Batman voice sounds a little bit familiar to me. It's like, yeah, it would sound familiar because it's Keaton. Kind of. A little bit. Not fully, but it's Bale's own thing. I woke Amber up briefly. She was, my Batman voice woke her up. Dun, dun. A lot of people are asking me, though, like, how did you, some of, like, the other accents I can do, I got them all from cartoons. Like, my Indian accent, I stole from, Simpsons. The guy who did the voice of the Indian guy, Apu, or whatever, like, he sounds, like, authentic. So, like, the best way for an impressionist to learn different voices is you listen to a lot of cartoons. Because cartoon shows, at a young age, are going to introduce you to so many different, like, nationalities that you'll pick up, like, other mannerisms from other countries. And, my Irish impression, like, the Irish impression happens to come from relatives that I know. They speak like this. It's all so quick and you don't really understand what they're saying until you listen very carefully to what they're doing, you know. So it's all in the nasal, how they speak. I can't imitate my Portuguese relatives though, because I can't do a Spanish or a like Brazilian accent. So, but the Irish comes and goes every once in a while, and the British voice is just from like basically what's a lot of Warcraft going up. Yes, hello. Yes, me lord, yes. And then you just bring it down to a knightly sounding voice like this. Yes, my lord. By your command, yes. It shall be done. You know, it's got that cool knight sounding voice. I wish my real voice was as cool as, like, some of the impressions I do. I really do. The other voices are just so much cooler. I get tired of my own voice sometimes. It's fun to change it up sometimes. I do like doing different voices from time to time because it's just, I don't know, it's just so fun, you know? It's like you're not expecting it to go here, and then it goes there, and you're like, what just happened? And then, if I really think about it, then I can try to do Mr. Kane a little bit from Alfred. It's a bit different when you're doing Alfred, though, because Alfred has so many different versions of himself. But everybody seems to like Michael Caine because he has like a warmer, gentler sounding voice than some of the other Alfreds. He just seems like he's the Alfred that you would want if you were Batman. It just sounds so nice, you know? It's like, man, that guy sounds so cool. But I like the Alfred from BVS. I really like him. But we didn't get to see enough of him. Jeremy Irons, I think is his name. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. You're done. Winning. I have a good radio voice. I was a DJ. The radio voice came from doing radio. I was a midnight, the midnight shift radio guy. So most of my mannerisms and stuff I picked up from radio. And my grandfather spoke like I do. Like my dad. You know that anime protagonist voice I do? You know when I bring my voice up an octave like this, and I'm trying to sound like a 90s protagonist? My dad's voice is around this area. Like, my dad has a very high-pitched sounding voice, whereas my normal speaking voice, it's lower. My dad he speaks with his nose. He sounds... he's a tenor, he's not a baritone. Jeremy Irons? Okay. As a kid, I was always like... I was wondering how my dad was able to his sermons were really good, but his voice, my dad's voice is like, you know when a teenager, like, when a teenager is in school and they try to, like, really lower their voice to sound cool? Well, my dad sounds like a teenager that's, you know, teaching a congregation. Like, he's very wise and stuff, and you can't help the voice that you're born with. You know, you can mess around with it a little bit, but, you know, it's your voice. So he has a higher pitched voice than I do, and I'm exaggerating. It's not like, you know, he sounds like an anime character. You imagine that? John 3:16 said, no, he doesn't sound like that. But it's I'm a whole, like, octave lower than he is. Like, and it's just funny, like, when we're in a room together and our back is turned, people assume that the deeper voice is coming from the older gentleman with gray hair, and the higher voice is coming from his son, the guy next to him with the beard and the lighter hair, you know. But it's the opposite. My dad has the higher voice, and then I have the lower voice. Yeah, it's like, think about, like, going from a smooth-talking jazz voice. Oh, and then Mickey Mouse is at the pulpit. God loves us, every single one of us. God bless you. I'm kidding. It's not that high. But I've always teased my dad a little bit, because it was like, where did my voice come from? And he's like, it came from your grandpa. And it's like, yeah, my grandpa had this very thick Brooklyn accent. Like, very, very low, gravelly, Brooklyn-y. That was my grandpa. And my dad has a higher pitched voice. My dad sounds like Kevin Costner, though. But without the bass to his voice. So what my dad will do is, he's a retired minister now, but when he would preach, how he would get people to you know, stir in their seat a little bit is he would raise his voice to bring up, like, you know, how ministers, when black ministers talk, they add deepness to their voice when they're trying to bring a point across, and then they scale it back and they say amen, you know, and then they go back to something else. My dad, when he's trying to do a point in a sermon, his voice will raise a little bit and then it'll come back down, but it's still the same. It's the same octave. It's just he raises it, and then he pauses for a minute, and then he goes back to whatever he's doing. And he's a fantastic speaker, but to me, it's always hard for somebody to be a public speaker if you don't have a deep voice. I feel that people with deep voices do better at public speaking, they do better at narration, all this other stuff. And he had an amazing career as a minister. He was a minister for like 36 years. But every time he would go to speak and stuff like that, it's just his voice is just so... You know, he's a very wise man. He's a very sweet, caring, lovely man. It's just his voice to me, it doesn't fit the type of body he has. And, like, the you know, he looks like a manly guy. And he just has this, you know, lighter sounding voice. It was always weird to me. It was like I was living with a cartoon character. You have this big martial arts dad come into your house, and then, hi son. It's like, what? Who are you? That doesn't work. It doesn't work with your voice. And he's like, I know. He's like, we're gonna have hot dogs for dinner tonight. It's like, okay. But it's like, I grew up in like a cartoon world, you know? It's like, it's funny to me. But anyway, we got another stream. This is the end of Lego Batman. For now, it's the last Lego Batman stream. Maybe we'll do another free roaming stream eventually, but I've got tons of new content to do. We're going to be looking at a brand new game today called Cobra. So if you know what Cobra is, then you're on the in. If you don't know what Cobra is, you're in for a treat. It's a old school anime from the 80s and 70s, I believe. That's next. And I'll probably only be playing one episode because I doubt it'll get more than, you know, whatever. And then we got brand new Kirby tomorrow. And there's a Japanese sword game that comes out later this week. And there was one other game. Shinobi is coming out. So I'm a huge fan of Shinobi. I hope you guys, you know, will come for other content. We're going to be doing brand new games. you know, not just Batman stuff. I play a variety of games. I'm a gamer. A lot of people, you know, see me as a Batman game, but I started online as a game journalist. Like, you know, I love retro games. I'm very knowledgeable when it comes to video games, and I'm very knowledgeable when it comes to Batman. So it's like, when there were really good Batman games, it was like the perfect marriage, because I have the insight and I have the education and the research of Batman, and, you know, my brain is like a sponge when it came to the animated series, 90s comics, and things like that. So when we had the Arkham games, it worked out really well for me because it was already in my wheelhouse as being a game person and, you know, Batman. But I know a lot about games. So a lot of really cool 90s and 80s games are going to be popping up, like, sporadically for the next couple years. So I have a lot of... I'm excited about, like, in terms of the world of gaming. But if you guys want to see this obscure game that's happening next, I'm going to give you the link. I'm going to get that all set up for you. We'll be playing on Switch 2 tonight. And then I'm going to get, you know, going to do more editing of my Batman suits video, which is almost done. And then I'll have that go up on Friday, because I think it'll do better on Friday. So, all right, guys, God bless Happy Gaming. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you guys for super chatting. You didn't need to. We already had somebody who was very generous of the channel earlier today. They gave a very, very generous donation, as well as they gave gift and memberships. If you want to help the channel and you can't be here to watch live streams or uploads, you could always become a member. It's just $5 a month. Membership really helps out the channel tremendously. And it basically supports the channel if you can't be here. You know? It's no different than getting a cup of coffee and a donut if you're in the East Coast. It's just $5 a month. And I see some of you guys, you know, you do $5 donations from time to time. If you can't be here for certain streams, it'd be great to have you stay on as a member. All right? You guys are breathtaking. Thanks so much for hanging out. And you'll be migrated to the next stream, which will be starting up ASAP. All right. Later.